We had a group that we worked with in South Africa, 11 companies in the group. They're the largest privately held property developer in the country. And they sent as a guinea pig 3 young directors. They had their cell phones and they were sending text messages. They were in and out of the room. It was hard to get all 3 of them at the same time. But then we asked this question, who needs a miracle in the business? Unbeknown to me, they'd been hit with an 8 million rand tax liability. So they prayed about it, and the next day the finance director came in and said a loan that they'd written off 5 or 6 years prior had just been repaid, 4 million. The next day after lunch he stood up again and he said, I haven't told my fellow directors, but we acquired a property as part of a company that we bought years ago that unsuccessfully marketed their property, but it had sold and the other 4 million was there. Now we had their attention. No more cell phones, no more going in and out of the meetings. Then they were able to wrestle with this question of the higher purpose of the business, which they decided was to be kingdom developers. Now understand that in their case, when you build 5,000 houses in a township, statistically in 10 years it'll be a slum. They have the opportunity to design the right things into a community from the get-go to prevent it going south. And within a year they were able to do such a development. They won an award for a 1.2 billion rand development to replace shanties with houses, and built into the design of the community the very things that you need for a healthy community. And this is a good example of how repurposing typically involves a from and a to. For them, it went from building houses to building kingdom communities, as they call them, or these communities with the right DNA built into them. In terms of who they were doing it for, initially they were doing it for themselves, then for the government, but ultimately for the people in that community, the lives they began to impact. Why they were doing it? That went from making money to doing the business in such a way that would honor the creator of all that they were working with. And then in terms of how they did the business, the chairman of the company has begun an initiative called Unashamedly Ethical, where he has got companies in the community to agree to paying taxes, paying fair wages, no bribes, etc. And has got 5,000 businesses to sign up. And that is now being taken into other countries in Africa. The net result is that their business has gone up because people want to do business with them. When you begin to talk about the purpose of business, it raises questions about the identity of the leader. Who are you? What are your own particular gifts and passions? How do you honor the DNA of the company and the efforts of your predecessors while breaking out into some broader purposes for the business?